Welcome back to the Stockwell Eldridge Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Good morning. I'm Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. I just was wanting to make sure you had it upright. Like I thought you were holding it upside down.
Oh, no, I have it upright.
Okay.
I don't know how it shows up on the camera, so if you folks are on YouTube or know anybody who uses YouTube, you can check us out on YouTube and see what we're all wearing, what we look like, and also look at the book. You can see a real image of the book right here. We're holding it up. And you can just Google Stockwell Eldridge Show on YouTube, and also on Facebook you'll have that. Dennis Davis is here, a veteran who wrote the book. And I wanted to mention one other thing real estate related is we're getting a lot more VA offers, which is awesome to see. So a lot of the veterans are taking advantage of their VA financing.
Yes.
And we're seeing a lot of that. We have a house for sale in Richfield. We had multiple offers on it. 2 of the offers, VA offers, 204 offers were veterans. And the house needed some love. It was not done up. You know, it was a situation where it needed some help. It would still go through the VA financing, in my opinion. But the other 2 offers were investor offers who were going to buy it, remodel, and flip it, right? So the good and the and it sounds like it doesn't come to terms yet. It's close, but it sounds like the VA one will win out because the homeowner felt that way. They've been there a long time, almost 40 years, and they wanted someone who's going to live in the home,
owner-occupied,
care for the home, owner-occupy it, and fix it up as they go, right, and that sort of thing. So it was really cool.
And what a better opportunity. Yeah, and that's what we talked about earlier. It's 100% financing with VA loans. So no money down. And I know we did talk a little bit about it. We don't have to get into many details, but there, if you are, Dennis, you mentioned you're a disabled veteran.
Yes.
And so if you are a disabled veteran, there are discounts even further on the VA financing as far as the funding fee. And then it can even go so far as reduced property taxes as well. And I think that's something we talked about. It's maybe more county to county or state to state, but
state to state. Certainly Minnesota, you have that, and then obviously your tax rates vary county to county and municipality by municipality.
Sure.
But in the state of Minnesota, I know you guys probably are heard elsewhere as well, but in the state of Minnesota, that is the case.
Yes, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you see, so like I said, Wells Fargo does VA financing, and we have a lot of people that are certified in it because there are a few nuances that go with it, ordering appraisals and things like that. So, but yeah, Not Your Average Joe. Dennis, you seem like a good resource for veterans. And you also, your website is nyajvets.com, which stands for NotYourAverageJoeVets.com. And so what kind of things can we find on your website?
Well, more about me, obviously the book, and if you order the book, you can get it through Amazon, but if you go through my website, then I get a better deal, frankly. So,
all right.
But you can verify and read the reviews. I think we've got 30 to 40 reviews out on Amazon. And also the podcast. So I have my own podcast, Not Your Average Joe Radio podcast, and it's just telling stories of veterans and the values that they bring and the challenges that they've had in transition or in their service or as a result of their service, how they've overcome those. The last one was somebody that was at Ground Zero on 9/11. And a colleague of mine that I know, and he served there. He was in the Guard. He was a Marine, got out, was in college, went back into the Army Guard, and his armory was 1 to 2 miles from Ground Zero. And he was going to college not far from there, and they canceled classes. He was in class when it happened. And he rushed to his armory, and then you have to listen to the episode to hear what he did, but he was at Ground Zero for 2 weeks after that. And so to be able to really tell his story, and it inspires, my plan is to inspire veterans to really share their stories, because we can all find some sort of commonality with those stories. Veterans can, but non-veterans can too. No matter what you've been through. I always say, I served at the mortuary. Any day I wake up alive is a really good start to the day. Mm-hmm. When I don't have to be carried, out and I won't ever see my family again, that's a bad day. So if I'm not carried in a flag draped transfer case and never see my family again, I'm starting out pretty well. And I've had a lot of challenges with post-traumatic stress, and also just physical challenges. I've had 3 back surgeries in 30 months. I've got 6 screws, titanium screws, and 2 bars in my back holding some things together in the lower back. But I'm going to continue to fight as best I can to help other veterans, especially those with mental health issues, and that we're not broken, we don't need to be fixed, but we are forever changed. And how do we overcome those changes? When you learn how to do it in a healthy, positive way, there's absolutely nothing you can't do. You can go out and buy a house and help fix it up and live there for a long time and make it your home. You could be the person that sells that house or finances that mortgage, or you go to church with them, or your kids play Little League with them, or whatever it is. Those are the values that we bring. So that's really the purpose of the podcast. And then we do a Whiskey Tango Foxtrot segment at the beginning, which, if you understand, Stephanie's shaking yes, for those that are on the radio right now. What Whiskey Tango Foxtrot means, just Google it. But it just basically means, what's going on. So we really focus on the VA. I don't run a political show. I could certainly do that very easily, but that is as political as we get, is really holding the VA accountable for the decisions that they're making, where they're putting their bonuses over veterans' lives and literally killing veterans. So that is where I go with that segment. But it seems to be a pretty popular segment. It resonates with veterans because we've all had those experiences, or we know somebody that has.
Is it getting better? I know that Trump said that that's one of his main objectives.
He's working on it. The challenge is he didn't realize, he may still not realize, the depth of the, I guess, depravity is probably a good word. So the opportunity is there. They have done some really good things. I interviewed on somebody else's podcast from the Minnesota GOP booth at the State Fair on Veteran Military Appreciation Day. And there's been a number of things that they have done specifically with veterans on extending the GI Bill, forever GI Bill, so it doesn't expire now. And a number of other things. They've refunded the choice program.
Do you think some of it comes from, Dennis, when you talked earlier about your friend with the Purple Hearts, and I'm learning this too as I get to know more and more veterans through the Trust Vets organization, is, so many of you are humble. And even my team member, when I found out he was a veteran, I didn't even know he was a veteran. He'd worked for me for 2 years. And I said, why aren't you military certified? Why do you not have that on your business card? He's like, wow. I'm like, oh, heck no, you should be shouting that to the rooftops. But he's very humble about it. That's not what it's about. But I'm like, I would think, so do you feel like maybe, I guess this thought just came to my mind, that because so many veterans are humble about their service and their needs, that's why maybe, I don't know, the VA is getting away with stuff because veterans aren't speaking up?
Well, we're used to the whole term hurry up and wait comes from the military. And it starts on day one. Mm-hmm. Hurry up and wait. Get in line, wait. Oh, now we got to go to another line. Wait, et cetera, et cetera. So, that's part of it. And I know people, veterans, that say, well, I don't deserve it. Somebody else is worse off than me. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to be dependent. We invented bootstraps too, I say. So, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But there are times where you do need help. And I've experienced that. And it is humbling to go through those times. But you keep going, put one step in front of the other. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So go take those steps. And, I think, and there's very little power that we have as veterans in holding the VA accountable because they're so entrenched.
And why is that, though?
Over 300,000 people. They're almost twice the size of the Marine Corps. They're the second largest government agency behind DOD. Huge budget. So it is very difficult for us to do that. But
wouldn't most of the people that work at the VA, then I'm guessing, assuming they're not veterans?
I don't know the statistics of the percentages, but yeah, a lot of them aren't.
Are not. Interesting. You work at the Department of Veteran Affairs and you are not. Which, I guess doesn't mean anything. I don't know. I guess I don't know why that surprises me. I think I would just think if you're a veteran.
Do you have some experience in it? Yeah.
Right.
It would be nice. And I'll give one more shout out to the website, nyajvets.com. We do have a GoFundMe that we're working on right now, just really to get additional equipment because I have a home-based studio. So if they can help with that, that would be awesome.
Great. Nice. Well, thanks so much for joining Dennis Davis, Not Your Average Joe. Really good stuff. And please, visit the website. Yes. Check out the book. I'm Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Thanks for listening today.
And I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results. Have a great week. Remember, love yourself and love others.
Love others.
And get along out there, driving especially. Just later.